Hey, it's Bryan over at CrossCountry Mortgage. Hope you're having a great start to your week. I wanted to talk today about divorces and mortgage and real estate and credit and how those three things are affected if you do go through a divorce. So this is a great video to share with somebody that you know who might be going through divorce, who owns real estate. There's a lot of misinformation about what happens when you go through this process and you own real estate. So one of the first big misconceptions is that in the divorce, if the spouse that's retaining the ownership of the home agrees to that, and your divorce decree says that the spouse is going to retain the home, all that's doing is saying that that person is going to retain ownership. What usually happens is the attorney is going to have you sign what's called a quitclaim deed, which then relinquishes ownership of the person not keeping the home to the spouse that's going to retain the home. But if you're joint on the mortgage, it absolutely does not relinquish your obligation to repay that debt. So it might mean that, let's say a husband and wife go through a divorce, the husband's going to keep the home, the wife signs the quitclaim deed over to the husband, but they're joint on the mortgage, and everybody thinks everything's a-okay. Well, then a year from now, God forbid the husband misses a mortgage payment, it will absolutely affect the credit report for both the husband and the ex-wife because they're still joint on the mortgage. Usually what happens is the divorce decree will state that if the husband's going to keep the home, that in a specified period of time after the divorce is finalized, he has to refinance the ex-wife off of the mortgage. The problem with that is most of the time, most people don't know if they can actually be approved to do that, and they sign their divorce decree, get it all finalized, and then they're referred to us, and then we get to tell them that they can't do what they expected to do. There's a lot of problems in divorce, and there's a lot of emotion involved. So what we want you to understand is if you are going through divorce or you know somebody going through divorce, I can't stress enough how important it is for you to get an approval up front in the mortgage world for the spouse that's going to retain the home to make sure that they can absolutely do this refinance after the divorce is finalized. If you don't do that, I can pretty much guarantee it's well over 50% of the time that that's not able to happen, and I certainly don't want that to happen to you. The next thing is quitclaim deed. What is that? That's the ownership of the home. It has nothing to do with the mortgage or your credit report. So signing that quitclaim deed over, that gives the ownership back to the ex-spouse, but it does not kill the mortgage on your credit report. The only way to get rid of that is literally to refinance the mortgage or sell the property and pay off the mortgage, and that is what relinquishes the debt, period. So those are the two best ways to go about doing that. Finally, the other thing here is just because the divorce says that the ex-husband is going to keep the home, it does not relinquish your responsibility to repay the debt. So if your ex-husband can't refinance and then they can't make the mortgage payment, you are now on the hook for that mortgage still. So it's super, super important to make sure that before the divorce is finalized, you confirm that the ex or soon-to-be ex can absolutely do the refinance, or that's no longer an option if they can't, and then the home has to be sold in order to finalize the divorce. The last thing that I'd want is for you to have a joint debt still related to a marriage after the divorce. It's not fun. We've had multiple clients, multiple instances where this has happened, and it basically is a communication issue between both parties and their attorneys, and the attorney's not understanding what the other party can do. They're just trying to come up with an agreement to resolve this amicably, but we have to figure out what the mortgage looks like before you finalize the divorce. If you have any questions about this, or you know of anybody that we should speak with or answer any questions for, please forward this video or give us a call and let us know who we need to help. My direct number in the office is 847-603-4778.